What if one single movie had never happened? What if one of Hollywood's biggest stars had never received the role that changed everything? Today, when people hear the name Harrison Ford, they instantly think of legendary characters. They think of Han Solo flying through the galaxy in Star Wars. They think of Indiana Jones searching for lost treasures around the world. They think of a man who became one of the most successful and respected actors in Hollywood history. But what many people do not know is that Harrison Ford's journey was not a simple road to fame. Before millions of fans, before huge movie deals, and before becoming a Hollywood icon, Harrison Ford was just another actor struggling to find his place. He faced rejection. He faced disappointment. And there was a time when it looked like his dream of becoming a famous actor might never happen. So how did a struggling actor become one of the biggest stars on Earth? And what was the movie that nearly changed Harrison Ford's career forever? The answer is a story about patience, unexpected opportunities, and one moment that changed Hollywood history. Let's go back where it all began. Harrison Ford was born in Chicago in 1942. As a young man, he was not someone who immediately looked like a future movie superstar. He was a normal person trying to figure out his life. Like many people who dream of becoming actors, Ford moved toward Hollywood hoping to find success. But Hollywood was not easy. The entertainment industry is filled with talented people, and only a small number of them get the chance to become famous. Ford discovered this very quickly. He started getting small acting roles, but they did not lead to major success. He appeared in movies and television shows, but his career was not moving forward the way he hoped. For many actors, this is the moment when they decide to quit. They start believing the dream is impossible. But Harrison Ford continued. Instead of walking away, he found another way to support himself. He became a carpenter. At first, it may seem strange that one of Hollywood's greatest actors spent years working with wood instead of cameras. But sometimes life takes unexpected paths. And sometimes the path that seems like a distraction is actually leading you exactly where you need to go. While working as a carpenter, Ford remained connected to Hollywood. He worked on projects, met people in the industry, and slowly built relationships. Then came the opportunity that would completely change his future. A young filmmaker named George Lucas was preparing a new science fiction movie. The movie was called Star Wars. At the time, nobody knew what Star Wars would become. Today, it is one of the world's most famous franchises. But in the beginning, it was a risky idea. A movie about space battles, strange planets, robots, and unknown heroes was not something everyone believed would succeed. Many people in Hollywood were unsure about it. During the casting process, Harrison Ford was not originally looking for the role of Han Solo. He was actually helping the auditions by reading lines with other actors. His job was simply to help other performers during their auditions. But something unexpected happened. When Ford read the character's lines, people noticed something special. He had a natural confidence. He had a unique sense of humor. He did not feel like he was acting. He felt real. That was exactly what Han Solo needed. Han Solo was not a traditional hero. He was not someone who always followed the rules. He was confident, sarcastic, and sometimes selfish. But underneath all of that, he had courage and a good heart. Harrison Ford brought that character to life in a way nobody expected. And suddenly, the actor who had spent years waiting for his chance finally had one. But even then, there was no guarantee of success. Star Wars could have failed. The audience could have rejected it. Harrison Ford could have gone back to struggling for roles. But when Star Wars arrived in theaters in 1977, everything changed. The movie became a worldwide sensation. People loved the story. They loved the characters. And they especially loved Han Solo. Almost overnight, Harrison Ford became famous. The man who once struggled to find work became one of the most recognizable actors in the world. But Star Wars was only the beginning. Before and after that success, another important movie helped shape his career. That movie was Apocalypse Now. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now became one of the most respected films ever made. Ford had a small role in the movie, but it helped him gain more experience and become more connected in Hollywood. By then, his career was slowly building. But the biggest change was still coming. A few years later, Harrison Ford would take on another role that would become legendary. Indiana Jones. When Raiders of the Lost Ark was released, audiences saw a completely different side of Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones was not a superhero. He was a professor who found himself in dangerous situations. He was smart. He was brave. But he was also human. He could be scared. He could make mistakes. He could struggle. And that made audiences connect with him. Ford had something rare. He could make fictional characters feel real. Whether he was flying a spaceship or exploring ancient ruins, people believed in him. But here is the most interesting part of his story. None of this was guaranteed. There was a time when Harrison Ford was not a famous actor. There was a time when nobody knew his name. There was a time when he was just another person hoping for an opportunity. So what was the difference between failure and success? Was it talent? Was it luck? Was it timing? Maybe it was a combination of all three. But one thing is certain. Harrison Ford never stopped trying. He continued even when things were difficult. He continued when success seemed far away. And when the right opportunity arrived, he was ready. That is what makes his story so inspiring. Because many people give up right before their biggest moment. They stop trying because they do not see results quickly. But success does not always happen overnight. Sometimes it takes years of preparation before the world finally notices your talent. Harrison Ford's career proves that one opportunity can change everything. One audition, one role, one decision, and suddenly, life can move in a completely different direction. Imagine if someone else had played Han Solo. Imagine if Harrison Ford had never been chosen. Would Star Wars have felt the same? Would Indiana Jones have become the same character? Would we remember Hollywood history the same way? These questions are impossible to answer, but they show how powerful one moment can be. The movie that nearly changed Harrison Ford's career forever was not just about becoming famous. It was about a person finally getting the chance he had spent years waiting for. Today, Harrison Ford is remembered as one of the greatest actors of his generation. His movies have entertained people around the world. His characters have become legends. But behind the fame is a simple story. A story about a man who struggled. A story about a man who waited. A story about a man who kept going. And maybe that is the biggest lesson from Harrison Ford's journey. Sometimes your biggest opportunity comes after your hardest years. Sometimes the world does not notice you immediately. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more amazing Hollywood journeys, forgotten moments, and incredible behind-the-scenes stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to you. Thank you for watching. And remember, every legend has a story before they become a legend.